Holy Thursday, also called Maundy Thursday, is not merely a date on the Christian calendar. It is the threshold of divine mystery. It is the stillness before the storm, the whisper before the cry on Calvary. On this night, Jesus didn't just share a meal. He rewrote the language of love, sacrifice, and salvation. It marks the eve of the crucifixion, when time itself pauses as heaven leans close to earth. Within the sacred rhythm of Holy Week, this Thursday ignites the Paschal Triduum, 3 days that would change the course of human destiny forever. These aren't just days of tradition. They are the summit of Christian belief, where the story of God and humanity reaches its most breathtaking crescendo. But Holy Thursday is not only a memory to observe, it is a moment to enter, a living invitation to feel the heart of Christ before it broke for the world, a divine echo that calls across centuries, asking us to sit, to listen, to remember. It wasn't by chance that Jesus chose the upper room. This second-story chamber, tucked within the bustling heart of Jerusalem, became more than a dining hall. It became sacred ground. Pilgrims had flooded the city for Passover, remembering the night God passed over homes marked by lamb's blood. But this night, a new deliverance was about to be written. Jesus sent 2 of his disciples ahead: prepare the space, set the table, gather the lamb and wine. But he already knew this room would become an altar, a sanctuary, a holy seedbed from which the church would one day rise. Here love took its final breaths before the cross. The disciples sat unaware of the gravity around them, but Jesus felt it. Each glance, each gesture, layered with eternal significance. In the quiet of this room, he gave his last will and testament, not with ink on scrolls, but through bread, wine, water, and service. The upper room became the birthplace of covenant, of communion, and of mission. Here, Jesus didn't just prepare his friends for the end, he launched them into the beginning. At first, it seemed like any other Passover meal. But then, something changed. Jesus took the bread, looked beyond that room into the heart of eternity, and said, "This is my body given for you. Do this in remembrance of me." He lifted the cup. "This is the new covenant in my blood, poured out for you." Luke 22:19-20. In a single moment, the ordinary became extraordinary. The bread and wine, once symbols, became sacraments. Jesus wasn't just talking about love. He became love, broken and poured out. The Last Supper was no longer just a meal. It became the heartbeat of Christian faith. The Eucharist was born, not as ritual, but as relationship, as lifeblood, as a living bridge between God and man. Even as betrayal loomed and the cross cast its shadow, Jesus served. He taught. He loved to the very last bite. And through that final supper, he passed the torch. Live in remembrance of me. Love as I have loved. Serve as I have served. It wasn't goodbye, it was a beginning. And then the most unexpected thing happened. The master stood, removed his robe, tied a towel around his waist, and knelt. One by one, he began to wash the disciples' feet, the Son of God, washing dirt from calloused feet. Peter was stunned. "Lord, are you going to wash my feet?" Jesus answered, "You don't understand now, but later you will." Peter objected again, but Jesus silenced him with words that still pierce hearts. "Unless I wash you, you have no part with me." John 13:6-8. And so he continued, washing every foot, even the one that would soon betray him. He redefined power, not through dominance, but through humility. In that moment, the Creator bowed before the created. He wasn't just cleansing dust from skin, he was cleansing pride, fear, self-centeredness. He was modeling a kingdom where greatness means service, where love wears a towel, and God kneels for the least. So why did Jesus reveal the deeper meaning of the Last Supper? Because it was more than bread and wine, more than ritual or remembrance. It was an unveiling, a divine mystery made flesh. It was the dawn of a new covenant, not written in stone, but in scars. He knew what was coming, the betrayal, the agony, the silence of the tomb. And yet, he chose to give, to bless, to serve. The Last Supper is a love letter written in sacrifice. The foot washing is a manifesto of heaven's humility. The upper room is where eternity whispered, "This is how much I love you." Let Holy Thursday never be just a chapter in a book. Let it be the night we return to again and again. The night when Jesus gave himself away before he was taken. The night when heaven sat at the table with humanity, and nothing would ever be the same again.